Lavina Mehta is a 44-year-old personal trainer, wellness coach, and mum of three, passionate about promoting the health benefits of exercise to treat, prevent, and reduce risks of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease. She's an ambassador for Diabetes UK and supports Alzheimer's Society and brain tumour research, fronting charity fitness campaigns. Her commitment to fitness saw her honoured with an MBE for her services in health and fitness over the COVID pandemic in the October 2020 Queen's Honours List. And she joins me today. Welcome, Lavina.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to see you. Lavina, I'm going to take you straight into it. So talk to me about your concept of exercise snacking. What is it and how exactly do you want to help people of all ages in breaking the common barriers to fitness? What snacks do you recommend?
Oh, yeah. Definitely the healthiest type of snacking around, I call it. All it is about breaking down. We're trying to hit the government guidelines of exercise to help reduce lots of chronic illnesses. And obviously we know exercise helps our physical and mental health, but we don't always have that full hour in the gym. And exercise snacking is taking short bite-sized amounts of movement throughout the day. And there's lots of scientific studies that I researched a few years ago showing that these could be as effective, if not greater benefit than doing that long workout. So it's about making it easy for us. We're all leading such busy lifestyles. So even things like 5 or 10-minute bouts of movement, and I call them little treats for your body and your mind, because it is literally that. It's not just how we look in terms of exercise. My whole slogan is to exercise for sanity, not vanity. And we know that even, a couple of minutes of any type of exercise you enjoy will help boost your mood as well.
I love that. I absolutely love that, because for me, it's committing to that whole chunk of, taking an hour out of the day or going to the gym. I mean, I've recently started playing tennis with my son, so I can go and do that. But the idea of just having that time out, I think, is really, really important. So I love that concept. But you yourself, so you've mentioned that whilst you were slim growing up, you weren't always as fit and healthy as you are today. So what made you decide to become a personal trainer and a wellness coach?
So I am a mum of three, and it's worth pointing out I only started my fitness journey in my 30s after my youngest son joined kindergarten school. I'd never really been into fitness or the gym. I used to work in the corporate world, so I had an amazing corporate career. I did have free access to a gym for my last company, but I never really found the time to use it. And my main message is that it's never too late to start your fitness journey. Just like myself, I joined the gym. I just used to go for coffee mornings and group classes, and it was only really when I invested in my own personal trainer and I fell in love with the world of strength training. So lifting weights, something that I'd never done before. And I just saw how it really transformed my own body and mind. I decided to then do some home study courses. I didn't tell anyone, literally did them in the evenings, just my family knew. And it was more to find out about the science behind fitness, exercise. I was doing, physiology and anatomy with my middle son who was doing his A-levels. And it kind of just developed. I fell in love with what I was learning. And I qualified as a personal trainer about 3.5 years ago only. And women started contacting me, just friends and word of mouth, because I have a private gym, a little space in my home, and it was quite unique. So there was definitely a big market pre-pandemic for where I was training women one-to-one between the ages of about 30 to 70. So I had a real spectrum, and I saw so many different challenges that they were facing on their own journeys. I found it immensely rewarding. And since the pandemic, obviously life has completely changed. I started doing live workouts on my Instagram, which I'd only recently opened up. I was, a very shy private person, and just decided that I wanted to help people. And I launched my, lunchtime exercise snacks with my husband and son, trying to encourage people to stay positive, to boost our immune systems right at the beginning of the pandemic. And obviously the whole fitness space has been revolutionized by the pandemic. There's so many content producers now out there. But I never expected the response that we got, which was thousands globally joining us. I started streaming on lots of different platforms, on all social media. And then I got my 72-year-old mother-in-law, who's now 74, to try and help me help those that were, a little bit elderly, that weren't used to coming on Instagram. And it's been incredible. We've had, people up to the age of 100 now join what I call my chair workouts. Even people, working from home. I encourage all ages because we are so much more sedentary. But it's been incredible to be able to help all ages and show them that you can take little snack size amounts and build up to hitting those government guidelines.
Awesome. So we're going to come back to the mother-in-law thing because I want to talk about that some more. And I also love the fact that you said, you can start it at any age, because I know a lot of people say, oh, I'm too old to do that, or I've never been a sporty person. So the fact that you've done what you've done and created such a brilliant environment means that it really is, it's a reality that people can really do that. But I want to talk to you about, so pre-COVID, you launched a national press campaign to get UK Asians fit. What can you tell me about that campaign? And also, I'm curious as to why you wanted to target the Asian community specifically.
Yes, so I'm born in London, so British Asian. My parents came over in the 60s. I think all Asians can relate that we probably have someone in our direct family, or we know someone in our extended family with things like diabetes or heart disease. They're so common and prevalent in the South Asian communities. So I did a little bit of research after I was on Sky News before the pandemic. They found my exercise snacks, and I started going on and talking about health awareness days, things that I was passionate about. And I started researching about diabetes and found that South Asians are actually 6 times more likely to have diabetes than the white population. I could see it in my own home. I have maternal, whole side of that, my maternal family have got diabetes. And then I started researching the power of exercise for type 2 diabetes, how lifestyle changes, eating healthily, exercising has such amazing effects in helping us to try and reduce our risks. Even people with pre-diabetes, as some of us may be living with it and not know about it, and reversing type 2 diabetes. So I just found it so incredible. And I have to say that the exercise snacking concept that I've got is also proven to help reduce things like your blood sugar levels. So it is very effective. And I raised the campaign, across TV and radio. I would say it was just a couple of weeks before the pandemic hit. And it's something I'm very passionate about. I feel that there is a little bit of a lack of education and awareness around the power of movement and exercise in my community. There's probably a lack of role models, and people don't really know what to do. And I just want to make it very easy for them. And having people that would typically not exercise, like my parents' generation, join me and my mother-in-law every week. It's something that I've continued to do, and I hopefully will be able to continue giving back in that form. Okay,
so let's rewind just a little bit, because you've mentioned a couple of times about during lockdown, the workouts that you launched. You did a free online fitness program with your mother-in-law, but I noticed that you used some very interesting alternatives to weights in a lot of the videos that you did. Tell us about that and why you decided to go down that route.
Yeah, it was actually on Sky News TV, and it was in January 2020, so a couple of months before the pandemic, where I was talking about how people could try and not break their New Year's resolutions and make it more of a long-term lifestyle change. And I actually suggested there, and they were laughing at me, I said, you can do these small bouts of movement at home. You don't have to have fancy equipment. You don't have to pay for an expensive gym membership. You could use, things like plastic bottles and tins, and they were laughing. And that's exactly what happened during the pandemic, because obviously everyone was forced to be indoors. We couldn't afford the prices, and the availability of gym equipment, got ridiculous. So I just started saying, let's start using things that we can find at home, safe plastic objects or tins, and tins are actually the most perfect thing to use instead of weights. So you will see on, YouTube where all my workouts are saved with my mother-in-law. I've had the elderly, the vulnerable, disabled children, people working from home. I've done corporate wellness. I've encouraged everyone to sort of use things that they have at their desk, plastic bottles. I've got people now getting very inventive on my workouts because I try get them to progress. That's part of strength training, is the progressive overload. So kind of challenging your body just gradually. And I've had them, bring in things like boxes and weighing scales and things from the kitchen, even candlestick holders. So it's been really fun. It's just to show that you can do exercise anywhere and you don't have to have fancy equipment at hand.
We're all going to be raiding the cupboards for our baked bean tins now to our workouts. I love that, because it means that, a lot of people do think, oh, I can't afford to do it at home, or especially now during the pandemic, when people have got less money, and we've got prices going up, escalating at the moment. So really, I guess it's saying there's no excuse that people can do it at home. So yeah, that's brilliant. You've got a weight right there. I love that. That's fantastic. So I mean, that's absolutely incredible. I love the fact that you've taken people on a journey, and I'm sure that it must have brought a lot of comfort, especially to people that have felt quite lonely or have felt really flat due to the pandemic, because we know that obviously exercise releases the endorphins that we need. Your work's been recognised with an MBE from the Queen, just a little recognition there, but also a British Asian Heroes Award, which is endorsed by the Prime Minister, and many others. What's next for you, Lavina?
Oh, wow. Well, it's been a surreal 2 years. Never, ever expected, this journey. It's just been things that I've been passionate about, and all my wild ideas have been, so supported by everyone. So it's thanks to everyone out there that's taken part in my workouts. What's next? I mean, I'm on a mission to help all ages, and my brand is Feel Good with Lavina. I really believe in the power of exercise to help us feel good physically and mentally. I'm going to try and keep going, trying to help break down the barriers of time, cost, and motivation. I'm still providing the free workouts with my mother-in-law. There's tons of, content and exercise snacks on my Instagram. I would just love to keep helping, keep serving, and hopefully making a difference. But yeah, I think there's lots and lots of things on my goal list. I feel like, my message, especially as a mum that's given up her corporate career, is especially to women, and maybe to mums that, are at a stage in their life where their children are a little bit older and they can have a bit of their time back, is to anyone out there, if you've got a dream, follow it. I never expected to be in this position, and I hope it inspires people to just kind of go for it and say it's never too late. So yeah, I will be continuing trying to inspire everyone to keep moving.
But all I want to say is, let's all get snacking. Thanks so much, Lavina, for joining me today.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care, and we'll see you soon.